Good morning, welcome back to the award-winning Shine here at DM Digital TV. Lovely to have your company. I'm Derek Marks and this is Ian Irving, our World Cup guru, who until yesterday had lots of England news, lots of England hope, but of course now that has been dismally extinguished, absolutely extinguished. But Ian, we must remember, and actually I'll just ask you the question that I asked you off air during the break about the extra money that the England players are paid during the World Cup. How much, we don't know how much it is, but what actually happens to it?
I'm not sure exactly how much they get paid, but all the match fees and bonuses and so on get paid to charity. It's something that the England players have done for the last few years, and it was something that was agreed long before they got knocked out. So,
some would say if they hadn't, then they absolutely should have done as well, because 10 pence would have been too much.
Yeah, indeed.
Wouldn't it? But there you go. Anyway, listen, we have to somewhere draw a line under that episode, however sad and desperate and embarrassing and humiliating it is. There is still a World Cup that is to be fought for the next couple of weeks. So first of all, let's take a look back at what's happened over the weekend. Okay. You want to focus on the Argentina game, I know, don't you, at the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the tournament so far, Argentina have probably been one of the most impressive teams. We've seen pictures of the game last night against Mexico. That, of course, would have been England's opponents in the next round, Argentina. And now play Germany in what's a classic World Cup encounter, of course. But they've looked pretty impressive. 2 goals last night for Carlos Tevez from Manchester City, who played really, really well. Another goal for Higuain, who's top goal scorer in the tournament so far. And they look decent bets. Diego Maradona, of course, manager. We've been told about how strange he's been in training and how he's a bit loony and so on. But he's been doing really well, and he seems to have got a lot of respect from the players. And they seem a real united camp, the Argentina side. So they'll definitely be ones to look out for. Looking across the other results from over the weekend, of course, on Friday we had the end of the group stages. Spain got the win that they needed to finish top of their group and avoid a potential clash with Brazil in the next round. Brazil finished their group drawing 0-0 with Portugal. They finished top, of course, as well. Saturday, then we had the first of the knockout games, the last 16, of course. Uruguay beating South Korea 2-1, and Ghana beating America 2-1 as well, which in some respects was an interesting result. But you know, this is shaping up really, really, really well now. We were a bit disappointing at the start. But we
were glad about the USA, though, weren't we? Really, because you know that was almost.
Not that we're bitter.
No,
of course,
but France and Spain being out before us was at least some little divine retribution.
Yeah.
What you like.
Well, France, Italy, America are all out before England at least.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, Italy, of course. Yeah, the big surprise. Wasn't
it? I think in a way a lot of people obviously would rather have played Ghana than Germany, but imagine if you got knocked out by Ghana. I mean,
and it was more than likely. I mean, given
Ghana a decent side.
What we've done, we'd have needed some incredible bad luck on their side to go our way.
Yeah, but I mean, Ghana now, I don't know how far they're going to go really, but they're flying the flag for Africa. They're the last remaining African side in it. They're the only African team through to the knockout stages, and they've gone and beat America. They'll now go on and play Uruguay. Now, you can face a lot harder games in the quarterfinals of the World Cup, let me tell you.
Absolutely.
So that'll be interesting. Other fixtures, of course, later on today. Holland come back. They've won 3 out of 3 in their group. They're looking strong. They play Slovakia. And Brazil are playing, of course, this evening as well. I always love to watch the Brazilians. Not quite the same Brazil of old. A little bit more gritty, a little bit more determined, a lot more hard working than they have been in the past. Not quite as much as the Samba flair, but they'll be an interesting team to watch. And then on to Tuesday, Paraguay and Japan. That looks like an easy game for whoever's got them in the next round. And Spain v Portugal, that looks like a real interesting and potentially, well, it's a local derby in a way, so potentially fiery encounter as well.
Absolutely. So still lots of, for those people who have enjoyed the World Cup so far, you know, obviously, you know, over here we've been rooting for our team. You know, if it was on will alone, you know, we'd have gone much further, of course. But you know, that's the way it is. But it's still shaped up to be a very exciting tournament so far, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, I mean, the first round of games were fantastic. We sat upstairs and talked about how it not really quite caught fire yet. All of a sudden, it's got very, very interesting, I think. And there's some brilliant teams in this World Cup, and it's very, very difficult to pick who are going to be teams going forward. And you've got some really, for me, this is when it starts to get interesting. Okay, England are out, but why not pick a side and support them instead? England are not going to go any further, of course. So pick Germany, pick Argentina, Spain, Portugal, Brazil, Argentina. There's plenty of sides out there to support, and get behind one of them and just make it a little bit more interesting for you. But I personally think that it's going to be difficult to look beyond maybe Argentina, Brazil, and Spain. I think they're probably the three at the moment. Maybe Holland, but Holland never a World Cup, so they've probably got the English mentality in a way. I don't know.
And as well, I mean, our focus has been so much here on the red and white flag, but any key points that you've seen over the weekend or the last few days that you've kind of thought, oh, that's interesting, or that's a bit of a mad fact? I did look in one of the papers today. Apparently, I don't know why we collect this kind of information. It is only ever useful, on a little bullet point on the side of a news story. But apparently 2.8 million pork pies were sold in Asda in time for the game yesterday.
Pork pies?
Yeah, but that's interesting, isn't it? Because that's
football club, is it really?
Well, that isn't either. That's not a kind of top favourite English food traditionally anyway.
No.
And a bit of an odd fact, 2 million burgers eaten yesterday.
Oh, I can believe that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a bit more traditional English barbecue type food, and people sit in the gardens, have a barbecue and go and watch the football as well.
I think our producer can vouch for a fair few of those as well. Definitely in consumption over the weekend.
A point that came out over the weekend, it's not quite as wacky as 2.8 million pork pies being sold, but it's this argument again for goal line technology. I'm going to be boring. I'm going to talk about.
It's worth talking about that because that was crucial yesterday. Because I mean, the world and his wife, something like I can't remember how many million of us watched it here, and absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, I was outside in the garden. Didn't watch all of the match. It was too painful to watch. Half an hour in, 2-1 down, I was out in the garden. But we were in the Lake District near Windermere, and every time there was a goal or a goal chance, there was a huge cheer went across the place.
Yeah.
And there was a huge cheer when that happened. Everyone ran in, and then it was like a, ooh, it was a real anger, because you could see from the camera shots that was, I mean, it was a good distance, wasn't it?
A good couple of yards over. I mean,
there was no doubt there, was there, for anyone watching there?
Well, there must have been in the referee and the linesman's or assistant referee's mind. But it opens up the debate once more. FIFA have continually battered away the idea of goal line technology.
But football's the last bastion to kind of
use it. Rugby union use it, and they use it effectively. Now, I personally don't want to see the game spoil and slowed down, but I don't think that. Literally, the fourth official can do it. He can see a monitor. Within seconds, we all knew that it was a goal because we'd seen the replay. And all it takes is they've all got headsets on. Goal, not a goal. Simple as that. They can give a free kick to the defending side. If the game stopped and the ball didn't cross the line, they can just get on with it. And that could be dealt with in seconds, and it could clear a lot up. The Argentina game last night as well, Tevez' first goal, it was a good couple of yards offside. As far as that ball was over the line was as far as Tevez was offside. That goal was given. Mexico 1 down, Argentina 1 up. In a way, it's part of football. You get these decisions, you get these just times in a game that you become so frustrated about because you know that it could be solved. But they can solve it if they want to.
But yesterday, Fabio Capello said to the lads when they went out there, keep a lid on your emotions, don't get booked, don't get angry. But yesterday they had full justification to do that, and actually, all credit to them. That's the one thing they can take credit for.
That's true,
is that they kind of kept it together, didn't they?
Yeah, that's true. I was listening to the radio on the way in, and some people were saying that Germany should have done the honourable thing and accepted that the ball was over the line and let England run the ball into the net. Come on, let's not be naive. It's the World Cup finals. If it had happened to England, there is absolutely no chance on this earth that we would have done that for Germany. And the other thing, a lot of people have said it's revenge for 1966 when Jeff Hurst scored and it was a Russian linesman, and was it over the line? Wasn't it over the line? And obviously didn't have all them replays back in those days either.
Ian, have you still got the heart to come back and join us on Friday?
Of course, yeah, of course.
Good man. Wait for the next update. It's on Friday.